Are you a travelpreneur who dreams of building a thriving business that gives you more time, financial freedom, and the flexibility to work from anywhere? Then you're in the right place, my friend. This is the Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. I'm Lindsay and I've built multiple six-figure businesses while traveling the world, living life on my terms, and helping women entrepreneurs do the same. Whether you're a travel advisor, an online business owner, or someone looking to add more adventure and income to your life, this podcast is here to guide you. Each episode, I'll bring you business strategies that actually work, productivity hacks, branding and marketing expertise, and plenty of pixie dust fun to help you create a business that fuels your passion for both profits and travel. So if you're ready to scale your business, attract more leads, and build a brand that lets you work from anywhere in the world, let's dive in and create and own your magic together. Hey everyone, welcome back to Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust. I'm Lindsay Dollinger, travel business owner, marketing strategist, podcaster, and founder of At Last I See the World Travel. I'm so excited to be chatting with you today, whether you are out taking a walk or driving in the car, shower, whatever you're doing. I know you're probably multitasking because you're my kind of gal, but I'm just excited today because today we're going to talk about 5 of the biggest mistakes that I see travel advisors making going into the summer. And that's where we are, friends. Believe it or not, it is summer. And I don't know about you, but I'm so excited because I am also a Spanish teacher by day during the school year. So our school is now out for the summer. It has been an awesome, fast year, but I love my summertime to recharge and travel and work full-time on my business and not feel like I'm working 2 full-time jobs at the same time, which is all the fun. So summer can either become one of your best momentum building seasons or the season where you accidentally disappear from your audience and then have to rebuild from scratch in the fall. And that's what we are trying to avoid with this episode, because when you do that, you are making things a lot harder than they need to be. And I definitely think it is possible to balance the best way we say possible, because everyone says, there's no balance, but balance having fun, enjoying life, living it up in the summer, doing all the things that you want to be doing and still running a very successful business. So today I want to walk through what I'm seeing happening right now, the mistakes that are quietly hurting your bookings in your business, and what I would do differently if I were building and or scaling a travel business this summer, which I am. So let's dive in. Mistake number 1, and these are in no particular order, but mistake number 1, and this is probably one of the biggest ones, is disappearing because, quote, everyone is busy. Okay, this is probably the biggest mistake, and a lot of travel advisors, and I've done this and I've heard this in all industries, not just travel advising, but everyone assumes, well, everyone's already traveling. People are offline. I'll focus on marketing later. Yes, people are traveling. Yes, people are probably more offline than they are during the winter when they're kind of stuck inside. But I promise you, friends, people are still online. People are still checking their email, especially. I hope you have an email list. If you do not, go back, listen to some of my email list episodes, and I'm sure I'll talk about them again. But I'm sure they're opening their emails. I'm sure they're still seeing your social media posts. And so focusing just on marketing later is going to hurt you a lot in the long run, because travel is more, I feel like, top of mind now in the summer than almost any other time in the year. People are seeing other people's vacation photos, talking about their cruises, thinking about Europe, heck, maybe even thinking about winter and spring break next summer vacations. They're researching Disney. You're hearing a lot about different Disney deals and promos going on right now because they always do amazing ones in the summer because it's so freaking hot down there. So they need to get people down there. They are already planning that holiday travel piece and dreaming about next year already. So this is not the time to disappear. This is the time to stay visible and top of mind and still keep giving that amazing value that you are known for. Now, does it maybe have to be quite as much as you're doing during the school year? Probably not. I still want you, though, to be showing up and repurposing your content so you're not recreating the wheel all the time and thinking smarter, not harder about your online marketing. So no, you do not need to be online 24/7, but you do need to have some sort of consistency. Maybe you're only posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday instead of every day of the week. That's fine. But remember that visibility compounds. So the advisor who is posting the helpful tips, the destination insights, the client stories, the travel reminders right now, staying on top of the news and sharing some of that with their clients and with their audience, I guess I should say, the packing tips, the cruise education, summer travel trends, and where you are traveling to, like you're sharing those things with your audience. You are going to be staying top of mind while everyone else goes quiet and kind of forgotten about. The advisor who stays top of mind now is going to get the inquiry later, or maybe even right now. Mistake number 2, posting the pretty pictures without the strategy. So, okay, lovingly, the pretty beach photos of your family vacay, they're not a marketing strategy. Now, it can, when they get, when they pop up on people's walls, be like, oh yeah, I remember she's a travel agent. However, can we take these pictures and go the next step? Can we make that content maybe even slightly educational? I tried out a new resort. This is what I thought of it. Connect emotionally with people. I get to take my kiddos on a summer vacation to a place where I got to go when I was growing up. And I remember all those good memories. And I'm so excited to be making these with my family now. So that emotional connection. Can your stuff build trust a little bit? Answer people's objections, start conversations, and still position you as the expert? Yes, I think it can. It just takes maybe just a little bit more strategies than just, throwing the picture up there. The advisors who are posting the supplier graphics, the random destination pics, the stock photos, the take me here captions, those ones are the ones that are going to be very forgettable. We don't want to be forgettable, right? People don't book a beach because the beach is pretty. They book because they trust you to guide them to the best beach, the best value for their money, the one that you sent clients to last fall and they absolutely loved this specific resort because the lazy river was freaking amazing, right? They book because they trust you to guide them. So instead of the who wants to go to Jamaica post about, something going on in Jamaica, try the here's why this adults only resort is perfect for couples who want luxury without a giant party atmosphere, and then go into it. Or my client chose this specific river cruise itinerary over ocean cruising for these 3 reasons. Bum, bum, bum. See the difference? That specificity, that is going to be what converts and sets you as the expert and someone that they trust. Storytelling converts. Expertise converts. General content just gets scrolled past because we have a sea of general content out there right now. So how can we help you to stand apart in your content and your marketing? Mistake number 3, trying to sell to everyone. And this one is another huge one. And honestly, I think this is one of the reasons new advisors especially struggle to grow quickly, because you're afraid to niche down because you think you'll lose opportunities. But usually it's the opposite. When your audience knows what you're known for, they remember you for that thing. You become the Disney girl, which is who I am, the cruise expert, the Europe expert, the luxury travel expert, the family travel advisor. And that clarity builds trust fast. So that doesn't mean that you can't not book other things. Of course you can, but your marketing should have a clear identity, because right now, especially online attention spans are short. We know this, right? So people need to quickly understand who you help, what you specialize in, why you're different. And advisors with a clear niche are usually growing faster because their marketing messaging is stronger. Now, along with the niche, I don't think you have to just niche into one thing. And I had Corinne Johnson on here recently, and she also said, you don't need to niche just one thing. It can be 2 things. So for me, it's Disney and river cruising. However, I mention the all-inclusives in Mexico because I do book a lot of those. I mentioned the ocean cruises. Honestly, I have taken more ocean cruises than river cruises, but I just really love a good river cruise because I also really, really love Europe. And so those 2 things kind of go hand in hand. But then I'm just known for Disney as well. I mean, heck, the marketing for this podcast is Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust, right? Disney is such a big part of me and my businesses that I've grown over the years that I can't just not book the Disney. But you and I both know as well that Disney's commissions for trips, there's a lot more work that you're doing in those than booking like a river cruise or an ocean cruise usually. So that's just like a side note there. All right, mistake number 4, not following up. And this is a mistake, friends, all year long, not just in the summer, but in the summer, I feel like we can get in our head and be like, well, they're not responding because they're on vacation. They're not responding because they're not online. So I'm not going to bother them. This is where so much money gets left on the table because most clients are not going to book the second they inquire. It's just how it is. Life gets busy. Kids happen. Like I said, they're going on the summer vacay. Work maybe is happening. People get distracted. They have cookouts. They have things to do. This does not mean that they're not interested, though. And I think a lot of advisors are scared to follow up because you don't want to feel pushy. But following up professionally is part of excellent client service. Just a simple, hey, checking in to see if you had questions about the options I sent over can reopen conversations all the time. And honestly, the fortune is in the follow-up, not just for inquiries either. Follow up with your past clients. Hey, This time last year, we were booking your trip to the Maldives. What's on the list for this year's trip? People who engage with your content, depending on what the content is, send them a message. Have you ever been on a Royal Caribbean cruise? What was it like? The people who were your old leads, you put in a quote, 6 months ago for a Disney cruise. There are a few Disney cruise specials going on right now. I wanted to make sure you know about them. Were you still interested in possibly taking a Disney cruise with your family next year? And people who just want to travel someday, and I know a lot of experts say to not be the person known for sharing deals, but sometimes sharing the deal, especially depending on what it is. So like right now, at the time of this recording, Viking, for example, is having a sale. Okay, you and I both know even when Viking has a sale, it's still pretty pricey, right? And you're still going to be making nice commission for it. So I don't think you're out anything to reach out to someone and say, hey, Viking is having an amazing ocean expedition sale right now. You had mentioned one time that you really wanted to go to, Norway to see the Northern Lights. Did you want me to look into a quote for this for you, right? So those sorts of things, especially following up and making it personalized like that, pulls on people's emotions, makes people know that like, hey, she's really here to help me and serve me. It's not just like the quote unquote like commission breath that she's after. And I'm going to give you my trick too for following up. So I was talking to one of my travel advisors last night who is in my agency, and she was talking about someone who'd reached out and they had asked for a quote. They had talked back and forth a little bit, and then it kind of went like white noise. She has followed up once since then, hasn't heard anything. The woman didn't respond. She followed up in a Facebook message because that's where the conversation originally started. The woman didn't follow up or didn't respond. And I said, I find that sometimes it takes like 3, 4, 5 times to follow up before I get a response back. But the email that I send that almost always gets a response is the email that is along the lines of, hey, I don't want to bug you, so I am going to go ahead and delete this trip from my list and stop following up with you if you're not interested. If you could just let me know if you want me to archive the trip or if this was still something that you were interested in booking in the next day or so, that would be great. And almost always people respond to that because they don't want to be deleted. They don't want to be archived, right? So that's kind of like my little trick. I actually learned that in network marketing follow-up, and it's a pretty good follow-up. So summer in general is just a really great time for reconnecting with people. I feel like we're all in better moods. We're all getting that vitamin D and that dopamine hit by, some of us not working as much or having more flexible work schedules and going on vacation. So I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm just like in a better mood. Okay. And the last mistake, we talk about this one a lot as well. Is treating your business like a hobby instead of a business. This one's going to be a tough love section. So if you're not here for this, pull up those big girl panties, girls. So if you want consistent income, you're going to need consistent business habits. And I think social media sometimes makes people think success is random, but most successful travel advisors are doing these boring things consistently. And I forget who it was. Maybe the girls, maybe Jennifer from Teak said her word of the year is boring. And when I first heard that, I was like, ooh, what a word. And then as she was explaining her reason why, I was like, okay, I understand that. So these boring things, and I'm even going to go as far as to say these basic things consistently. So following up, like we just mentioned, posting regularly, building relationships, learning new destinations or just learning your destination and getting really, really becoming an expert in it, really diving into it, improving your systems, networking, which doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be like the traditional networking events, right? Going out there and just meeting new people, doing whatever it is that you're doing anyway. Asking for referrals, sending emails, and staying visible. They are treating this business like a real business, not just something that they only work on when they're feeling inspired. And honestly, summer is the perfect time to build momentum because so many advisors unintentionally slow down. If you stay consistent right now, when all these other people are not, you can create the huge momentum and pass these people. Not that I'm a little bit competitive, I won't lie. And I don't like comparing yourself to other people. However, one of the she was the top coach back when Beachbody did coaches. Top coach for 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer, maybe 6 or 7. Her name is Melanie Mitro. And every year she released an episode of her podcast, maybe in like November-ish. And she was talking about her plans for December. And then she would do like another follow-up episode in like January. And it just always really, really stuck out to me. And Ed Milet has talked about doing this as well. If you don't follow Ed Milet, I really like his podcast as well. They both talked about one of the things that helped them get ahead and become the number one best in their industry was that they didn't slow down when everyone else did. They kept going. Now, this doesn't mean that they didn't take time off, but their time off was intentional. So they planned ahead for it. They scheduled things out so that they were still showing up, but they did not stop when everyone else did. They kept going. So if you stay consistent right now, you can create that huge momentum for your fall travel season, your holiday travel season, wave season, your 2027 trips, group trips even, and future referrals. So what I would focus on this summer, if I were focusing on growing a travel business, which I am, here's what I'm prioritizing. Number one, visibility, staying consistently visible online and having really good marketing around that. Number two is relationships, having conversations with people daily, whether these are new people or existing people in my sphere. Number three is authority. Talk like an expert instead of just reposting general kind of content. And sometimes that general content, I do repost some of that. Like I follow a BDM for, I must be Globus Tours. And she's always posting these like travel agents steal that post. I'm not going to lie. I steal those posts because that's something easy that I can throw up on my travel agency wall. But that's not the only content I'm putting out there, right? Number four is follow up. Reconnect with people, have these systems in place in your CRM where it's sending your 3-month, your 6-month, your 1-year post-travel follow-up emails for the people that you want to work with again. Those are a really great way to help you do that. But don't be afraid to send individual messages that are a little bit more personalized. And number 5, simplicity. Keep it simple. Do not overthink or overcomplicate your strategy. If you do these things, you don't need 47 different things that you are specializing in. You don't need 9 different platforms. You don't need the perfect branding, and you don't need viral videos every day. The only thing truthfully that you need is consistency and connection with others. If you've been feeling a little behind lately, I really, really just want to encourage you because I know it's so easy to compare yourself online. But remember, you are seeing people's highlight reels. You're not seeing the years they spent building trust and the consistency that they put in that invisible work and the conversations that are happening behind the scenes. You don't know, maybe they did other businesses before. Maybe their network looked a lot different than yours did or does. Momentum takes time, but every post, every email, every conversation, every follow-up, every reel, every client interaction that you have, every referral, every trip that you book that goes off without a hitch and those people come home and then they rave about you to their friends and family, that is building something. And the advisors who stay visible this summer and they put in the work are going to thank themselves later. And I hope that's you. So I would love to know, which of these mistakes do you think travel advisors are making the most right now? Come find me over on Instagram, Facebook, or shoot me an email, send me a DM, let me know. And if you know someone who has been thinking about becoming a travel advisor, or maybe it's you, maybe you are listening to this, because I know there are a lot of people who listen to this who are not travel advisors, since this podcast was kind of a more general business podcast before I started niching down into travel businesses. If you want the mentorship, the systems, the support, the community to grow your business as a travel advisor, doors to At Last I See the World Travel are still currently open until June 12th. And then I'm closing them again, probably for at least a quarter, maybe until the fall. So let me know ASAP if you want some information about joining our agency. I would love to talk to you a little bit more about that because I'm so passionate about helping advisors build profitable travel businesses with support and strategy and a whole lot of encouragement along the way. So thank you so much for listening in. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast and go out there, my friend, and create and own your magic. Talk soon.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope you're leaving today inspired, Princess, to create, own, and spread your magic to the world. If you found value in this episode or know a girlfriend who needs to hear it, would you screenshot it and send it to her? And if you're feeling really generous, pop it up on your IG stories and tag me at Lindsay Dollinger so I can see you loved it and tell you thank you. I appreciate you. Now let's go do some amazing things. Bye-bye.
Hey, fellow Disney lover, are you looking for magical, comfy fashion? Then you need to check out Bella Bling Shop. Bella Bling's size-inclusive line is perfect for park hopping, princess races, or just adding a bit of everyday magic into your life. Much of the artwork of this comfortable clothing line is hand-drawn, unique artwork. I know this because I watch my sister do it. Yes, this is my sister's shop, and she takes so much time and care into everything that she creates. Every single piece is special. So again, whether you are just getting excited, going to the parks, whether you're getting ready to run a race, or whether you just want to add a little bit of Disney fashion into your life, make sure you check out Bella Bling's adorable, comfortable styles. Visit www.bellablingshop.com. You know I'll put that in the show notes for you. And make sure you use code PODCAST, all capital letters, to get 10% off your first order. Tag me when you get it, and I want to see what you decide.